Ladies and gentlemen, it's not yet Thanksgiving, but apparently on Fox News, that doesn't mean it's too early to celebrate the war on Christmas. Here is Bill O'Reilly, of course, saying that this is not just a war on Christmas, but we know who perpetrates it. It's not just the secularists anymore. It's the Muslims.
Also, the first salvo this season in the ongoing war on Christmas in Montgomery County, Maryland. There'll be no mention of Christmas or any other religious holiday on the school calendars going forward. That's because a Muslim group did something. With us now, Ace, Fox News correspondent, Eric Shaw. All right, Lon.
Pause it. Yep. No Christmas in Maryland because a Muslim group did something. Go.
Explain the Muslim Maryland deal. What happened down there?
Well, essentially the school system took a vote, the school board took a vote, and they've decided to exclude all references to religious holidays in their school calendar for 2015-2016 for that school year. The way it got started is that Muslim community leaders for quite some time now have been asking for equal billing for their two major Muslim holidays, Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr, which mark the end of Ramadan and the end of the Hajj.
So they wanted to have equal status with Christmas, Hanukkah, Passover, correct?
Exactly.
But there aren't nearly as many Muslim kids in the schools in Montgomery County, Maryland, as there are Jewish or Christian kids. Is that correct?
Well, that's correct. That's pretty clearly correct. But there is a growing Muslim population, and this is something they've been working for a few years.
So they wanted it on the calendar, or they wanted it off? What did they want? Because you get off on Christmas.
What they're really arguing for is that the Muslim holiday should be recognized and that the entire school system should be off.
Okay, so they want school to be closed those days.
Right, but for this year, they took things back a notch and said, hey, our holiday falls on the same holiday as Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
Why do you acknowledge us as well? And the school system said, instead of doing that, let's take everything off the calendar.
All right, so I'm Montgomery County school superintendent. I'll put your little holiday on there, okay, but you're not getting off, because if I give you off, then I have to give Halloween to Wiccans, right? And I'm not besmirching the Muslim religion. It's a public school, and in the public, it's primarily Christian, all right, and Jewish, not Muslim. And those are the demographics.
But the argument here that they're making is that this was the wrong decision on the part of the school board. They were disappointed and shocked by it. They had no idea that all these holidays would be excluded.
It's a pressure group, and Montgomery County caved in, and they're wiping out. You know, Christmas and Easter and Passover, these have a Judeo-Christian tradition in our country. So they just wiped out all our traditions because these people, but I will say, I would have been respectful and put it on the calendar, but you're not getting off. You want to take off? Fine.
Well, they argue that, the population is growing, and there are school systems around the country where those holidays are off on their school calendars.
It's like 0.2%, all right? Now, so if you add one, the population's growing. All right.
Wow. Just a couple of things. I don't know why this is fully necessary, but, I'm not sure if Bill O'Reilly was around when he was a child, but the whole thing about it being a where Jewish holidays were respected, I don't think so. No, in fact, I know so. When I grew up in Worcester, we never got any Jewish holidays off, ever. I live in New York, my kid gets the Jewish holidays off. They're a pressure group. They really shouldn't even talk about it. He's wrong on the percentages of Muslims. They are, yes, less than the Jews. But here's the other thing that Bill doesn't say. You can't say that Christians and Jews are both primarily. No, one of them is primary. It's the Christians. So either own up to the whole thing, Bill, and say, don't let the Jews have off because they're not in the majority of the kids. What percent of the students in Montgomery, Maryland are Jewish? 15, 20% max? You're going to take off because of 20% of the kids? That's where you should be at, Bill. Get the courage of your convictions. Stop being such a wimp. Stick it to the Jews, too. You know you want to.
What's the matter, Seder? You want another day off?
What, you want another?
Yeah.
The
Hey,
Jews,
you do
come
get
on,
a day
let's
off.
just
You
Christians
get
only. Let's stop playing around with the pressure group that the Jews are.
You can celebrate on Christmas for the great victory you had when you killed my Lord and Savior. How about that?
That's right.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Take a day off for murdering Christ.
No Jew has ever taken the day off from school for Hanukkah. Never happened. Hanukkah's not that big of a holiday.
I can't find the stats for specifically the children in the school, but of Montgomery County's entire population of religion, 13% Catholic, 5% Baptist, 4% Evangelical Protestant, 3% Jewish, and then there's a few and 1%. Muslim is one of the 1% ones. So Jewish is only 3% of the entire population.
Yeah, but they're part of the Judeo-Christian. This country has always respected Jews, except for the time when we did. So
This country's always respected Jews.
always, since the founding.
We love Jews.
That's right.
Huge
This
fan.
country is always
Huge
total
fan of the
respect.
Jews.
for the Jews. So we know that's the case. So that's all right. So thank you anyway.
I remember my old man sitting around getting drunk and talking about how much he respected the Jews.
Oh, my
their work
God.
ethic, their culture.
There was
He would just unload on how much he liked them, wanted them to
on
move
Long
into the
Island
neighborhood.
growing up, my community, we would.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I actually think that
All the country clubs competed to have the first
I
Jewish
wonder
family
if
join.
when
Okay,
Bill O'Reilly went to Harvard, if they still had a quota on Jews at that time. I don't think so.